Welcome to Wife Reviews. If you have a husband that's similar to mine that likes to take on different projects and build things from scratch, then you're in for a treat. Today, I watched my husband create some boat ramp guides. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. So here, Anthony is just taping down the measuring tape so that he can measure out how long he needs each piece to be. So he ended up making each side, I think it was like 10 inches, and so he marked it and he'll draw an L so that he knows that he's cutting from the top. And so now Anthony is going to take back the pole that he just measured out just to see how it looks against the actual trailer. The goal of the guide is to make sure he can see it as he's backing up. So when you get to a boat ramp, you're going to back up your trailer to the water so that you can let off your boat. And since his trailer is so small, it's really hard to back up without the guides. And so he decided that he's going to handcraft his own guides. One of the main things I love about Anthony, he's not going to just buy something that he could make. And so here are some clear defined steps that I'm going to show you on how to make boat guide or boat ramp guides.
Babe, you still recording?
You about to cut this, right?
Yeah, you gotta let me know when you're recording.
Babe, this is not going to be no sound for this. I'm going to be talking. I had to include it just because it's funny and it shows you how Anthony is. He's very shy. But we're going on our back balcony, and he's going to cut the wood where he drew his lines when he was measuring out those 10 inches on each side. So take a look at that.
So it's a long one. The long ones are gonna go inside of it. Does that make sense?
He's saying here is that he's going to use those long ones he's just cut to stick inside of this little elbow he's going to make. So he's coming up to the trailer to measure out the smaller and second piece for this boat ramp guide. Now, again, he's going to make this elbow, and it will make more sense as the video continues. But right now, he wants to see how long does the piece that hangs against the wheel, or the part that covers the wheel, the top of it, how long does that need to be? So he's going to do what he usually does, which is measure it out, draw the L, and go from there. So just as a recap, he is cutting the second portion of the elbow, the portion that's going to go right above the tire, so it's a lot shorter than the actual longer ones that were going to be the actual guides. So step one, get those little white poles from Lowe's or Home Depot. Step 2, cut out the actual guides. Step 3, cut out the smaller portion of the elbow. And now what he's going to do after he finished cutting everything is he's going to go inside and he's going to complete the elbow portion. And so you're going to look at the third little part that you're going to need to be able to make these boat ramp guides. Sorry, sometimes I can't speak. So as you can see here, that is the third part you need that helps to finalize that elbow. It's that little round piece, and Anthony's going to explain what you do next.
So it kind of tells me it's always pushed in. This now I know when I drill my little drill, take a little drill bit, push all the way through here so I can lock this in. And now this lets me know when I do that how far, who to where, why they did it, who going there, what they gonna do next time. Like Flintlock Willie did.
So now he's just measuring to make sure that the hole he just drilled is exactly in the same spot on both sides. And so the reason why he's doing this, again, is because he's going to put a bolt to hold the two pieces together so that, they don't slide out or come apart. So again, he's just measuring it, making sure it's the same, and he's continuing to drill through on both sides. As he's drilling through, he's having a hard time, so he had to keep switching sizes so that it can, the hole can start to get bigger and bigger. And then he gets this cool little tool to kind of, clean out the inside, getting rid of any extra product that's in the inside holding, the hole kind of hostage. He wants to just make sure that it's a clean cut all the way through. So that when he puts the bolt in, it can go in on both sides, and he's able to put a washer and a nut on the end of it. So that's the tool. Again, he pulled it out just to make sure it looks good. And he does it for both pieces because he has one on each side of the truck. Let me see it, babe. Let me see it before you add the other part to it. Okay.
Oh, 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 get a little warmer all over the city, yeah. Whoa, 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 get a little warmer, I love Mr. B, yeah.
So here you see him, he's just tightening up the bolt. He has the wrench on one side and he's just continuing to tighten it so that he knows that it's not going to move, it's not going to strip the bolt or anything like that. And so now you're going to see the finished product. So now Ant is going back to the trailer and removing the bolts from the little piece that's above the tire. This bolt was actually stripped, so he had a hard time getting the bolt out. So what he ended up doing is drilling it all the way down and splitting the bolt, and then he ended up having to pop the bolt out after drilling it all the way through. Sometimes that happens. You have a stripped bolt and you have to be creative on how you get it out. And like I said, that's one of the main things I love about Anthony. He's very smart, intelligent, and very creative. So as you can see, after he got the bolt out, he started to measure that piece against the flap above the tire, and now he's drilling holes so that he can then bolt the elbow to the flap above the tire. So now that he has the holes and the bolts inside, he is just going to put the bolt in between the hole of the flap right above the tire, and then he's going to add a washer and a nut at the end so that he can conceal everything together. So you'll see the final product at the end, but everything just connects here.
This looks less, less noticeable. Does that make sense?
That's true.
I want it to be least noticeable as possible.
So the finished product, as you can see underneath here, there are bolts, washers and then bolts, and he bolted it in. It has been placed here and is not going anywhere. And then he put up a big long stick, so when he's backing up the trailer, he is able to see which direction the trailer is turning. So this is the final product. Based on the whole experience and how long it took him to do this, I would rate this a 5 or 4.5. I will also give a rating after we back it up to see how helpful it is. And so yeah, right now is a 4.5 just because it, he had a hard time getting that bolt out. And it just took some time, getting these bolts inside here. He had to go back to Lowe's to get a longer, had to get this half an inch longer to fit through and going through here. But I highly recommend watching the how-to video that I make later and post on Anthony's page if you want to learn how to make these. This is very important to have if you have your own trailer and you're backing it up for, docks and things like that. So I definitely will give boat ramp guides a 10 out of 10. Completely different. When my husband added the boat ramp guides in the back, he was able to back his trailer up into the water very seamlessly. So definitely a 10 out of 10. However, it did take some time to do on your own. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching another segment of Wife Reviews.